The Honda Center filling up here in Anaheim, California for Game 2 of the John Wooden Classic. Davidson against number 7 UCLA. Meno, Sander, Archambault, Curry, and Richards. Richards leads the nation in assists at 9.5 per game. For the Bruins, Ship and Mamute and Love. Westbrook, electric point guard. Darren Collison really has it going, and now he is healthy. Meantime, UCLA is coached by Ben Howland. He has back-to-back Final Fours, lost to Florida last year in the Final Four, and they hope to get back there again this season. Meantime, he has such great respect for Bob McKillop, who is in his 19th year at Davidson, and he's the all-time winningest coach in Davidson and Southern Conference history. The third member of our broadcast crew is John Ireland.
Thank you, Steve. When you look at this game, most of the people here are here to see UCLA. But Stephen Curry, the outstanding shooter, particularly from three-point range for Davidson, has the attention of a lot of scouts here as well. The Lakers have 3 scouts here, including general manager Mitch Kupchak, and I asked them, what are you looking for when you come to something like the Wooden Classic? And they said, offensively, we want to see guys who can create their own shot and control the game. This is something, Brad Holland, you used to do when you recruited. You want to see guys who can put their stamp on the game from start to finish. So it's more than just scoring and putting the ball in the basket. It's everything from passing to defense to leadership that these scouts are looking for, and there are plenty of them here in attendance today in Anaheim. Steve, back to you.
John, you mentioned that Stephen Curry. I mean, he averaged 21 points per game last year as a freshman, second to Kevin Durant of Texas. So we know all about those skills, but he does have his left wrist heavily taped, an injury that he suffered recently. But still, Davidson comes in at 3-4 and a team that won 29 games last year. Davidson in the red, UCLA in the white.
And Steve, I just love the point guard matchup, Jason Richards and Darren Collison. We're going to see who wins that battle.
Number 2 against number 2. Thomas Sander out top, defended by Kevin Love. And you've got to believe that UCLA will come out with great energy, because they did not show that in that first half against Texas, trailing by 14 at one point. Jason Richard from outside.
Well, that's a great start for Davidson. You know, they got down to the shot clock, and a nice screen on Collison. He couldn't recover. Jason Richards knocks it down.
Davidson in their last game, they lost 75-68 to North Carolina Charlotte. And UCLA turns the ball over. There is Bob McKillop. You know, he's one of those gentlemen who's very happy where he is, and I think he could have gone to so many places because he's so well respected in the college basketball world.
You know, sometimes you find your place. You find a great fit for you, and that certainly Bob McKillop has found that in Davidson.
Boris Meno scores down low, and it's a 5-0 Davidson lead.
Boy, Davidson just cleared out the backside and threw it over the top to Meno, and there was no defensive rotation.
And a steal by Davidson. Not a good start for the Bruins. Remember, they got down 30-16 against Texas, roared back to claim the lead, and Ben Howland really felt they should have won it, but they did not make their free throws or seal it late at Pauley Pavilion.
Well,
Curry has knocked out of bounds.
I mean, you talked about it at the top. I mean, Davidson has played a fearless schedule. They fear no one. They've played Duke, North Carolina, and you know, certainly playing UCLA on a neutral floor does not intimidate Davidson.
They only lost to Duke by 6. They only lost to North Carolina by 4. And there is Richards missing his second 3. Made his first. Westbrook going inside to Luke Richard Mbamute. And Love is fouled, and Kevin Love will wind up at the free throw line. There he is, Kevin Love, the outstanding freshman, goes 6'10", 270. He was the high school basketball player of the year out of Lake Oswego, where he averaged 27 points per game and 14.5 rebounds, and he has had an excellent start to this season.
You know, he's one of those ready-made freshmen.
Yeah.
You know, he comes in, he's strong, he's ready to go, he's skilled, he's fundamental. Boy, I know Ben Howland and his staff were so excited when he gave UCLA the nod.
And yet it was Lorenzo Monterreal who was in the game in the closing minutes of their loss to Texas last week. Love makes 1 of 2. Jason Richards at the control. We told you, second in the nation last year in assists and leading him in the first month of this season. This is a guy they really need to shoot well. Real Archambault. He misses.
And you know what? Davidson's lost a couple games, and maybe that's why Archambault is starting to try to get him going.
Well, Westbrook gets it going. He's the guy who had filled the big shoes of Aaron Aflalo, the Pac-10 Player of the Year a season ago. He graduated and went on to the NBA. Collison on Richards. Shot clock down to 10. They're a very patient team.
Russell Westbrook doing a great job of shadowing Stephen Curry. Oh, what a lift fake.
And he nails the three with just 1 second left in the shot clock.
You talk about poise. He was in no hurry. He knew how much time he had.
He's got his old man shot, too. That looked like Dell right there.
It's pretty to watch.
It is. Davidson by 5. Russell Westbrook. Ship looking low, and Josh really has improved his outside touch this year. Misses his first 3 opportunity. You told me yesterday watching practice that you thought Davidson would look for it early, and if not, they'll be very patient.
Right. I mean, this is a very veteran team. You know, they've been through the wars. They know how to win. And they showed great patience on that possession to work the ball around twice and get a nice lay-in.
And Richards so clever. There's that move by Stephen Curry, and this was with just 2 seconds left in the shot clock. Still had the poise to stay within himself, let the defense slide by and get a good look.
I mean, you got to come hard at him. You got to come on balance, but you got to come hard at him because he shoots NBA threes and he's accurate. So that created the opening for him with that little lift fake.
You know, it's very interesting because here's a guy, great bloodlines. His father, Dell, played 16 years in the NBA. And yet, because of his size, the ACC, the Pac-10, the SEC said, no, thank you. And he goes to the Southern Conference, Davidson. So he might be playing with a little chip on his shoulder.
Well, you know, that happens. I mean, there's guys all across the land that slip through the cracks and go into a mid-major or lower mid-major, like Rodney Stuckey at Eastern Washington, the game of star, an NBA first-round draft choice. That happens in our game.
Well, UCLA and one of the top point guards in the nation going at it, Darren Collison. Westbrook down low. He leads the league in assists, the Pac-10 at 6 per game, Russell Westbrook.
Well, isn't it nice to have 2 guards like Collison and Westbrook who can handle it and dish it?
UCLA last year won 30 games, lost only 6, went 15-3 in winning the Pac-10, lost to Florida by 10 in that Final Four. They get it down low, and Sander, smart to the hoop, lays it up and in, and it's Davidson by 7.
I'm telling you right now, you turn your head just a little bit, and Davidson will back cut you, and they will find the ball in their hands for a lane.
Mamute getting it to Josh Ship. UCLA runs a lot of sets.
Thomas Sander, very physical defender, doing a good job on Love so far.
And now we do have a whistle and a foul call against the freshman Kevin Love. That will bring Lorenzo Monterreal into the game as Love commits his 2nd personal foul. Stephen Curry outside good, and Davidson up 7 early on number 7 UCLA. Upstart Davidson with a 12-5 lead over number 7 UCLA. And as we look at Davidson College, they are only a school of 1,700 students. But look at the bottom line. Davidson students receive free laundry service. Brad, have you ever had a player say, you know, Coach, I'd love to go to your school, but you don't have free laundry service?
Hey, you'd have got me to sign up. You can't always get home and have Mom do the laundry. Free laundry service is key.
Hey, your shirts are wrinkled. You need to go to Davidson. Here he is, Jason Richards at the control, and Thomas Sander outside missing the 3, but they're getting a lot of good looks against the Bruin defense.
Well, if you want Davidson to take a shot, it's Thomas Sander from the 3. That's really not his game.
Michael Roll in the game. Ben Howland wanted him to get at least 20 minutes, and he lays it up, misses the shot. Lorenzo Monterreal has it stripped. Curry down the middle of the floor. Well, he gets rid of it quickly, misses badly that shot.
He does have a very quick release, though.
And it goes out of bounds. It still belongs to the Bruins. Michael Roll, how important is he to UCLA's success? Because he's a guy with the ability to stretch the defense. Missed a month with plantar fasciitis in his foot.
I talked to Coach Allen yesterday. He said that is a key. You know, he's a great standstill shooter, but also Michael Roll takes care of the basketball. He's veteran. He's been to Final Fours. They need him to play well.
And last year you had Ship, Aflalo, and Collison who could hit outside.
Great job by Collison.
Setting the screen for Roll. Ship on the drive, and a personal foul will be called. It could go against Stephen Curry. It is a blocking foul, and that is the first personal on the sophomore Stephen Curry. Now coming into the game for the Davidson Wildcats is Stephen Rossiter, big guy, 6'7", 230. Also in Bryant Barr, a good outside shooter, and he's defending Russell Westbrook, who moves to the point as Collison goes to the sideline. Alfred Aboya in the game. You see those goggles that he's wearing because he suffered a fractural orbital floor of his right eye in the game of victory over Yale. Westbrook in traffic, got the foul, but he also with his dribble got himself into some trouble, Brad.
Well, he was a really good freshman last year, but he's really improved his overall game this year, and he's playing with a lot more confidence, Russell Westbrook. And again, the luxury of having really 2 point guards that can play together, play separate with Collison and Westbrook.
Well, he's a great story because Ben Howland asked him to wait till the very end, and you were recruiting Russell when you were at San Diego.
I know. I was hoping Ben didn't have a scholarship for him because we might have got him.
But he's really good. Just a terrific athlete.
He's just a sleek athlete that is very, very skilled and a wonderful young man.
Ben Howland loves his toughness as well. UCLA trying to trap it out on the wings. Jason Richards being tied up by Russell Westbrook. Shot clock down to 15. This is Barr from the corner, and he nails the three. Bryant Barr, 42% three-point shooter, and Davidson has their biggest lead at 15-7. Collison gone to the scores table. He'll check back in at the next buzzer. And Westbrook throws it away. Ahead to Richards. Curry missing the three. Ship behind his back. One hands it ahead to Aboya, who can't score but will wind up at the foul line for 2 shots.
Really fortunate for UCLA that Curry didn't nail that three. Jason Richards, got the lead pass and threw it back to him, and then that created a transition for UCLA. And Ship, nice job of kicking it ahead to Aboya.
Well, Richards is such a fine point guard, and you really respect a point guard when he graduates. And Richards, a senior, you wonder what kind of opportunities Curry will have without Richards.
Jason Richards, 14 points, 11 assists versus Duke. You think he can play?
Yeah.
Second in the nation, Richards was in assists last year at 7.3 a game.
And leading the nation this year at 9.4. Free throw is a miss by Aboya. UCLA, though, gets it back. Collison back in the game. Here's Ship on the drive. Aboya's going to go back to the foul line.
Davidson fouls on 41.
Josh Ship again getting around the defense. Boy, you like to see a big guy that takes his time, is willing to lift fake before he makes a move. And a lot of bigs get so anxious. They get that ball and they just kind of put it up there. But that was good control and lift fake by Aboya.
Let's go to John Ireland.
Steve, Alfred Aboya, who's at the free throw line right now for UCLA, is wearing goggles that are from the Lakers. when he fractured that orbital socket of his eye, they thought he was going to have to sit out for a long time, but Ben Howland talked to Gary Beatty, the Laker trainer, who said, I got a pair of goggles that we use when that happens in the NBA. You can have them. And ever since, Aboya has been able to play with that injury. Back to you guys.
John, those are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's old goggles, I think.
A great research, John. Davidson by 6, 15-9. Collison defending Richards. Gets a screen and roll, but they don't buy into it. And Andrew Lovedale trying to roll to the hoop. And now the ball knocked out of bounds, but another slow start by UCLA. They were down by 16 points in the first half to Texas. Did not score for 18 consecutive possessions.
They don't look comfortable. They look a little skittish. They look unconfident to me right now, the UCLA Bruins. They just need to settle down, believe in themselves, and get into the flow of this game.
Ben Howland said Monday and Tuesday they had 2 excellent practices. Looking for Sanders down low. Instead it goes to Barr, and Barr steps back for the 3 and nails it.
Well, one of the things I said, Steve, that's a key for Davidson is you got to make threes against UCLA. They're not going to give you a whole lot of inside. You got to be patient, and then when you're called upon, you got to knock down the 3.
And they're doing it right now. Mbamute loses the basketball, and Davidson has it again. UCLA not playing well out of the gate for the 2nd straight game. Curry, his man fell down momentarily, then Westbrook got back up. Ryan Barr misses the 3 this time.
That was deep.
Well, you can tell they're really well coached. Bob McKillop's team came in here 3-4, but won 29 games and made the NCAA tournament last year before losing in the opening round to Maryland. Ship missing the 3. Mbamute.
Boy, the Bruins needed that. Mbamute, a great offensive rebounder. Got around the defense and got it done.
Sander, 4-3. Holy smokes. They are 5 for 8 in this game, shooting 3-pointers, and have a 10-point lead on the number 7 team in America. Love and Roll have gone to the scorers table to check back in. Meno and Archambault for Davidson. There's the double. Westbrook misses a wide open 10-footer. Shot's much more difficult for UCLA than for Davidson. Barr with another. They got 6 3-pointers, and Ben Howland says timeout.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if Davidson's going to make threes and make them at a great clip, this is going to be a long game for UCLA because this is their game. Thomas Sander with the 3 ball.
Brad Holland told me yesterday for Davidson to win, they had to mix their D, grind it out, and make their threes.
Coming in, you know, Steve, they've only shot 33%. But I'll tell you, they're hot right now, and you have got to guard the arc. Bryant Barr right there with the 3. He's got 3 of them so far. Nice little lift fake. Created some space, and he is feeling it.
They are averaging 32 3-pointers per game. They have taken 87 more 3-pointers than their opponents have this year, and they've only played 7.5 games. UCLA will have Collison on the floor with Mbamute, Westbrook. Michael Roll back in with Kevin Love. Love is working down in that low block, and they almost stole it. And Kevin now does lose it, and he's tied up. And it's out of bounds to UCLA with 15 seconds left in the shot clock. Boy, they double down so quickly on the freshman.
Well, I like what UCLA did right there. They said, we're going to get it to Kevin Love right now. You know, we got to get it inside. But Thomas Sander is matching Love's physicality, doing a great job of post defending him.
Because Ben Howland says when Kevin gets the ball, he's either going to get a good shot or he's such a great passer, he's going to find good shots for his teammates.
Right. I mean, even if Davidson's going to double, and they are, you know, then it's how do you play offense out of the trap? And Kevin Love is good as anybody of passing out of the trap and getting a good shot for UCLA.
Is it a little like the first game when Sam Hand finally got better post position, where he made himself a difference in St. Mary's comeback?
No doubt. I mean, first of all, you got to catch it near to where you can score, and maybe you can sometimes before the trap comes. But if the trap does come, you got to have patience and poise and make a good play out of the trap.
Well, this is game 2 of the Wooden Classic. In our first contest, St. Mary's ran the record to 7-0 with a upset of San Diego State, 69-64. San Diego State now 8-2.
Too much expectations on the young man, in my opinion. He's not mature enough to do that. He's handled himself remarkably well. It's been surprising to me with all the acclaim and the credit he got in high school and is getting now, and now last year the #1 college high school player of the year. I think he's handled it exceptionally well.
John R. Wooden loves those guys who know how to pass, and it's interesting because he has been compared, his outlet pass, with Bill Walton and also Wes Unseld. And Kevin Love's middle name is Wesley. His father, Stan, who played in the NBA with the Baltimore Bullets with Wes Unseld, and he admired Unseld's play and his outlet pass, so he names his son Kevin, who later his son is compared to.
The whole key to a fast break is how quickly and how good can you outlet it off the rebound. And Kevin Love, I've seen it. I mean, with both hands and with accuracy, he can throw that thing 60, 70 feet, and it's on a dime, and you got to lay it.
And we've seen guys his size who don't have that strength. Where is it in the fingers? Is it in the wrist where you're getting that kind of whip-like strength?
It's God-given.
Okay.
That young man was blessed with a lot of things, and strength's one of them.
Right now, his team is trailing by 13 points. Davidson ripping it from outside, hitting 6 of their first 10 3-point shots. And Collison turns it right over. And Curry picks it up. Roll chasing him, and Curry lays it in. A 15-point Davidson lead.
You know, Darren Collison's rusty. We talked about it yesterday. You know, this is only his 3rd game back from the knee injury. He's not 100%. He's trying to feel it his way along and get back to the player that he has been. It takes a little while.
Right now, Davidson in total control of the game. They work it down low. Boris Meno. And Meno knocks it down. How about this?
And Bob McKillop says about Boris Meno, he came in as an athlete and he made himself a basketball player. That's a great, because a lot of athletes never get there. They never make themselves into players. They're just good athletes.
He was born in the Congo, but raised in Paris, France. Played a lot of basketball there. His love down low and finally scoring. Love picked up a quick 2 fouls, and Davidson's 17-point lead has been cut to 15. Now UCLA needs some stops. You can see the Wildcats' recent scoring run. Meno. That's not his shot. He is now 1 for 11 this year from 3-point range. Meno going for the steal. It's out of bounds still to the Bruins. And you can see Bob McKillop just reaching out and patting the back of Meno because of his hustle.
Well, Darren Collison, you know, as a point guard or a guard in general, wing player, he's got to get down and create a better angle for that post feed. He threw it way too far away from the basket. He didn't have the proper angle to get it into Love.
Meantime, Andrew Lovedale comes back in, and he replaces Thomas Sander. Also in the game, Will Archambault. Michael Roll. Not this time. Goes out of bounds off Davidson. UCLA will have another shot clock at 35, and Monreal is coming back in the game.
There's a lid. There's a lid on that rim right now down at UCLA's end. They're having a hard time getting the basket. But let me tell you this, Davidson is a very sound and solid defensive team.
Yeah, North Carolina and Duke are not going to their places, so they were hosting them, and they barely beat this Davidson team. Here's Ship giving it underhanded. Monreal, a foul will be called. And this is UCLA's game because Davidson has not gone to the foul line this year. I'm sorry, in this game. UCLA has already been to the foul line, what, 10 times?
And if you can make your free throws, that'll pay off later on.
It was kicked by Davidson. 8 minutes and 12 seconds left in this first half, and UCLA down to the Wildcats by 15 points. Luke Richard Mbamute from Cameroon. Westbrook, they tie him up as soon as he drops the dribble, and he turns the basketball over, and it's a 3-on-2 break, and Curry gets it off to Richards.
Really uncharacteristic of a UCLA team how much they've turned it over so far.
Manu goes inside and pushes the lead back to 17 points, because we thought they would come out here with a great deal of energy, angry, a chip on the shoulder after their first loss, a game they could have won against Texas last Sunday.
And it's been exactly the opposite. Davidson's had all the energy, and UCLA looks out of sorts.
Mike Farrell on the lean, and he will wind up the foul line with 2 shots. We've got a time under the floor, 7 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the first half. All Davidson. Davidson is picked to win the Southern Conference. Last year they won 29 games and 17 in league play. And they lost at North Carolina only by 4, lost at Duke only by 6. Now, question mark about UCLA. How about this? Davidson has never beaten a ranked opponent under Bob McKillop. The Wildcats' last win over a top 25 team, 1974, when they beat number 15 South Carolina 70-59. Will they have a 17-point lead on number 7 UCLA today?
Well, what I noticed about their games against North Carolina and Duke is they were in the game, both games. Duke, North Carolina go on a 6-8 point run, and Davidson would answer and then cut the lead back down to 2. So they never let those 2 big-time opponents get away from them. And now they're playing another big-time opponent in UCLA, and they're having their way so far.
They've had as big as a 17-point lead. Now it is 16. This was the score with Texas in the first half when the Longhorns had their biggest lead in their win over UCLA at Pauley Pavilion. Barr will miss the 3-pointer, tried to corral it in the corner. But we'll go back to the Bruins as they bring Westbrook and Love back in the game. It's interesting. Ben Howland took Kevin Love out for only 1 minute and put him back in. So obviously he was instructing the young freshman.
And sometimes that you need to do that, to settle a young fella down and just say, hey, be patient in there. We're going to get you the ball. Get back in there.
There's Love from about 15. Missing short. Jason Richards being defended by Darren Collison. Mbamute on Meno.
Davidson has such good spacing. They're all good passers, screeners, cutters, patience, slips the screen.
Gets the bucket.
That's Davidson basketball right there with Andrew Lovedale slipping the ball screen early. No help on the backside for UCLA, and now a big-time lead for Davidson.
Their biggest lead right now of 18 points, and that was Jason Richards' 5th assist already, and we've only played 14 minutes.
Well, we know who's winning the point guard battle. You know, Jason Richards. I mean, Darren Collison. I mean, let's be honest, he's not himself. I mean, he's not playing very well yet.
And Josh Shipp will be fouled by a Davidson Wildcat as he tried to take it to the hoop. Yeah, there's some confusion out there attacking that defense. And remember, Texas plays a little bit of a zone, and it really caused some problems against UCLA. And Texas scrimmaged against Davidson and learned that zone defense from Bob McKillop a little bit.
Well, as we know, Davidson hasn't gone to it, nor have they wanted to. It's going way too well for them right now with this lead, but it's in their back pocket. You know, they can go to it here in this game, but right now the man-to-man is working beautifully.
But they're defending the ball so well, even though, you know, you're always defending the man when it's your guy, but the way they're shading to that ball side.
Agreed. And Darren Collison, really, I mean, he hasn't really been able to penetrate the defense yet. They've kept him in front, they've kept him at bay, and Darren Collison's been ineffective so far.
McKillop has to be really pleased. I mean, here's a guy with 7 20-win seasons in his career, including the last 3 in a row, and a really good team this year. They tied up Curry. Richards, 4-3. Nope.
Good
Collison has Westbrook on the left.
2-on-1.
Collison finishes.
Good defensive possession. Darren Collison looked like he had the charge, but great defensive possession prior by UCLA to create that follow play-in.
UCLA has cut into that Davidson lead, which right now is at 14 points with 5 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first half.
UCLA's got to keep it out of the hands of that man right there, Steph Curry, and try to make somebody else from Davidson score.
Jason Richards. Sander. Not this time with the 3. Love rebound. Outlet pass. And Richards go down hard. And who are they going to call the foul against? It's against Josh Shipp.
There's this two-handed outlet that Kevin Love is already famous for, and this is a horrible call. I mean, this is 2 players going up for like it's a rebound, and there was some contact there, but that was not a foul.
And that was the first foul on Josh Shipp. Sander defended by Kevin Love as we're trying to set some screens for Stephen Curry. Westbrook's done a nice job defensively on Curry. Sander is blocked by Aboya, and Davidson will go to the foul line for the first time in this game.
Right now, you know, everything's going Davidson's way. This is how the game ebb and flows, and UCLA's just got to keep fighting, keep trying to get stops, and put the ball in the basket at the other end. But right now, Davidson has got it working offensively, defensively, and getting a couple calls.
Thomas Sander misses the first foul shot. He is just a 61% foul shooter, but he was second team Southern Conference last year. He averaged 13.5 points per game, over 6 rebounds per contest. A big guy at 6'8", 220. He went to Cincinnati Elder High School. Good basketball program. How about this? Yeah. Misses both. Where they got back quickly. Love looked for the outlet, and nothing was there because Davidson had every outlet area covered up. They go high-low from Westbrook down to Love, and Love got doubled immediately and fouled. So Kevin will be at the foul line for 2 shots. Is that a double bonus? That's a second personal on Rossiter. That's the 9th team foul, so 1 more and we'll be in the double bonus. Kevin Love, a 73% foul shooter.
Boris Minnow and William Archambault return for Davidson.
Bob McKillop knew it would be a struggle. I mean, you got a guy 6 feet 10 inches tall, 270 pounds, and they have nobody to really match up, but they have matched up with him very well in the first 16 minutes of this game. Well, Love makes the first one.
You're right. I mean, whether it's Menno or Sander, they're being very physical with Kevin, which you need to be because he's so darn strong. But you got to keep trying to go to the well down there, and even if you got to throw it over the top to him, if they front, you got to get it in there to Kevin.
Well, UCLA has cut the 18-point lead to 12 as Davidson has not scored in the last 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Love will be coming out of the game, and they'll bring Michael Roll back in, and Aboya will move to the post to cover Thomas Sander. And Luke Richard and Mamute will be the power forward now. He's more comfortable in that spot, and UCLA ties up Davidson, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 3:50 remaining. First half, Davidson by 12. UCLA down by 12 points. They have not played well in the first half again after losing to Texas on Sunday. Brad, what do you think Ben Howland wants to see these last 350?
Well, take advantage of your possessions now. I mean, you've got to cut into this 12-point lead. You've got to change the momentum here. You've got to cut this to about 4 points or 6 points by half, and you're right back in this game, and maybe a momentum shift in your favor.
It seems like UCLA doing a better job finding the shooters here in the last 4 minutes. Fighting through screens, and Shipp has to fight through one here for Stephen Curry. He misses the 3, but there's a good rebound by Meno, and he'll lose it though, and picked off by the Bruins. A 6-0 run by UCLA. Collison looking for a cutter. Trying to free up Josh Shipp, who's been well defended by Davidson in this first half. Collison rolls in. They've had some good looks that have not gone in, and that'll be Bruin basketball with another shot clock at 35. Westbrook coming back in for Darren Collison. Josh Shipp 0 for 3 in the first half. They need to get him going, and here he goes on the drive. Kicks it off beautifully to Luc Richard Mbamute.
But one thing Josh Shipp is doing, though, is he's penetrating the defense. He's getting around guys, and he's creating open lanes to pass and get some assists.
An 8-0 run by the Bruins. Down to 5.
Definitely.
And UCLA tied them up.
Doesn't matter what the shot clock is. Anytime you can get a guy on the sideline like that, anytime you can get him in a position like that, you trap and try to get a turnover. Right there, stop, trap. Make it difficult, get a turnover.
UCLA has scored the last 8 straight. Here's Mbamute. He hits from outside. That's 10 in a row by the Bruins. Right back in at 2:20 to play. And Shipp had to go off his back, but right to Davidson. Boya doing an excellent defensive job on Thomas Sanders.
Well, you can already see the body language of UCLA.
Westbrook out. Mbamute out.
Finish that. Yes, sir.
Well, it's got the Honda Center rolling right here on this play. Defense always starts it for the Bruins.
Oh, it does. And it finishes it for them, too. Their body language is picked up. They're excited now. They got some things going for them. Russell Westbrook with the steal. Great job of avoiding contact right there. Mbamute and making the lay-in. 3-point play possibility. Russell Westbrook, wow, what a take. Good kick ahead, perfect, leads him perfectly. And Mbamute, he's got a chance for a natural point 3.
And John Wooden was saying yesterday, everybody loves to score, but defense wins championships. And he said, in football, it's defense that controls that offense. In baseball, it's up the middle, the catcher, the second baseman, the shortstop, the center fielder. And he said in basketball, it's defense that won him 10 national titles.
And that's Ben Howland's philosophy. He's all about defense and not only creating points off your defense, but making it difficult for the other team, taking them out of their offense, contesting shots, and then rebound the ball. UCLA coming into this game with a +9 rebound margin.
Yeah, Jeff Miller, who's a wonderful writer for the Orange County Register, he said, you know that UCLA, they should change it to UDLA because of defense from that man.
That takes away from the 100 national championships. You got to have that C in there.
You got that right. Well, UCLA down by 5. They were down by 18 points in this first half, roaring back on the defensive end.
And look how the energy level of the Bruins has just picked up. They're into it now.
You just wonder why they can't be at the start. Meno inside, no. Shipp rebounding. Still plenty of time. Shot clock at 25. Westbrook. A 15-0 run by UCLA. And Westbrook commits the personal foul, but to go from 18 down to 3 down has Bob McKillop a little concerned.
Well, what did we talk about? You got to cut into this lead. You got to change the momentum. Going into the halftime, you want to feel good about yourself, and that's what UCLA is doing right now.
You said that, I think, at the 250 mark?
I think it was 350 mark.
350 mark. And boy, they have followed suit, and it's been spurred by their outstanding defense. Westbrook's done a great job on Curry, who's been limited to 5 points. One of the top scorers in the nation, averaging 26. Curry. The floater goes. He got a good screen to rub off Westbrook, and then Westbrook had to slide over and defend Barr, and Curry now has 7 points.
Isn't that just a pro-looking, nice little soft shot, a little arc on it?
He can play.
Made right there.
You know, it's amazing how many players are missed, and it doesn't matter what sport, but you just think bloodlines. Del Curry, 16 years NBA. The kid can flat shoot, but we were watching practice yesterday, and you said, Steve, he looks like a sophomore in high school.
He does, instead of a sophomore in college. Let's give Mom some credit. She's a great volleyball player at Virginia Tech, okay? Get Mom in there.
I'm sorry. We're talking, you know, bloodlines. And, Mom, volleyball at Virginia Tech. Dad, Del, 16 years in the NBA and a star at Virginia Tech, and not even offered a scholarship by Virginia Tech. He went to Charlotte Christian. There's Luke Richard Mbamute of Cameroon. Meno with the rebound.
Davidson will ride it out here and get the best shot they can with about 4 or 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Westbrook defending Curry, looking for the screen from Meno. Meno short, and the Bruins with a great second-hand comeback. No basket by Collison. The shot was late, but Davidson up by 18 points. The Bruins cut it all the way down to 4, but 20 minutes to go. Bob McKillop, his team came in 3-4, facing 7-1 UCLA. The Cats in the house playing awfully well, but UCLA's defense spurred an incredible comeback. Welcome back to the Honda Center for the 14th Wooden Classic, Davidson versus UCLA. Yesterday, we sat down with legendary coach John Wooden, and we asked him about his feelings about the state of college basketball.
The thing that I dislike more than anything else in the game is I think officiating, or that they're letting the game become too physical. And basketball is not a physical game. It's not a non-contact game. No, there's going to be contact in there, but I don't want it to become too physical. I think what it does, it takes away a lot of the beauty and the finesse, maneuverability of the game. And that, I don't like to see it become too physical. Furthermore, I think officials aren't calling the game very well according to the books. They let them travel all the time, particularly if they're going into dunk. You hardly ever, if a fellow makes a dunk, you'll hardly ever see him called for traveling, and many, many times they do. And they don't call carrying the ball, and they're carrying the ball all the time now. And I wish that they would call it just according to the book. Would you slow the game down a bit? Yes, for a while, but these players are good. They'll adjust, and when they adjust, it's not going to slow the game down. You're going to have a better game, in my opinion. The three-point goal, I've never been against, but I am against the distance. I would like to see it lengthened a little bit, but how much? I don't know. But it's a beautiful game, a beautiful game. Spectators are closer to it. It's a game of action. And as I facetiously said, the spectators are so close to the game that they know more about it than the coaches, and they often tell the coaches what they're doing wrong.
What do you admire about Ben Howland's coaching style?
Well, certainly his emphasis is on defense. And I've always felt that defense is what it takes to be successful in any sport. Like baseball, down the middle, your strength pitching, around second, and around and catching, center field. I think in football, defense, generally speaking, it's kind of odd, you know, you'll find when the Super Bowl comes up, you're going to hear about the defense will win the championship. Then they play the game, and the quarterback will get the most valuable player, or a halfback, or some of that sort. But I do feel that what the sport is, I think defense is the most consistent thing to win championships. I think offense in most sports can be inconsistent. Defense should not be inconsistent. For the most part, it should be consistent. And I think Coach Howland really emphasizes defense more than any coach that I've seen in a long, long time.
Final question, and it doesn't matter if it's in business, politics, sports. What do you think are the characteristics of a good leader?
One that listens, that has the ability to listen, and that one, by actions, not just word, brings it across to all those under his or her supervision that he cares for them personally.
The great Coach John R. Wooden. We're at the Honda Center. Halftime. Davidson and UCLA. We'll be right back. Davidson leading number 7 UCLA 34-30 at the break. Steve Physioc with Brad Holland. And Brad, UCLA with a great stretch run, but how about the way Davidson came out, hit 6 of the first 10 three-pointers?
I know, they were lights out, and that's their game. They love the 3 ball, and they were hitting them. But I think they've missed their last, 5 or 6 threes, yeah. And then that kind of changed the momentum. UCLA dug in defensively, got some turnovers, made some good stops, and then made it pay down at the offensive end and got back in this game.
They cut it from 18 down to 4. Let's take a look at that first half and the way the Wildcats started.
Well, they're so good at screening and slipping, and you turn your head a little bit, ball's going to be delivered for a lay-in. Bryant Barr did a real nice job coming off the bench, hitting 3 threes. Jason Richardson with his usual penetration, hitting Barr on the wing, and Richards is so good at creating open threes for his teammates. Russell Westbrook, good athletic play, doesn't finish, but his teammate does. Maabute with the jumper. They're getting warm now. They're getting back into the game. They're changing it in their favor, and a real nice steal near the end of the half by Russell Westbrook with the finish by Maabute.
And Maabute led everybody in scoring with 12 points, including 5 of 7 from the floor. And John wouldn't like the way his team came back, but I think for Davidson, if you're Bob McKillop, you're saying, hey, fellas, we still have the lead. Let's go finish the job.
Exactly. Look, we had some really good moments in that first half. Let's play a whale of a second half.
Davidson loves to play the outside game. UCLA, the inside game. 15 three-point attempts by Davidson to UCLA's 3. But when you get to the free throw line 17 times, that means you're pounding it in the paint. Right, and although that, the field goal percentage was way in Davidson's favor when they were on that nice run, if you look at the difference now, what's changed the game a bit is the rebounding. Yeah. I mean, UCLA absolutely owned the boards, particularly late in that first half. 20-9 in rebounds and created some second chance points for themselves. But Brad, to start this game, you said they need to get Kevin Love the basketball. He only had 6 shots against Texas. He only has 2 in limited minutes. 9 minutes in the first half because of the 2 quick fouls. Well, a little bit of that is he's a marked man now, and people are going to defend him and be physical with him, and Davidson's got the kind of personnel that can do that, but you still got to be looking to go inside. There's 2 kinds of penetration, dribble penetration and pass penetration. You got to keep looking to get it inside to Kevin Love. We will see the second half here at the Honda Center. What does Davidson do to end that run? Remember, UCLA finished the first half on a 16-2 run. Well, remember, Davidson respects everyone, fears no one. I mean, they stayed in the game with North Carolina and Duke, and they're going to try like crazy to do that in the second half against UCLA. One of the reasons they've scheduled North Carolina and Duke, Bob McKillop really felt that when they faced Maryland in the NCAA tournament, They needed to see more foes like that to be ready for the tournament again. That's
Exactly.
why they're out here playing UCLA in Southern California.
It's called NC2A preparation. This team has got a great chance, this Davidson team, to be back in the NC2As this year.
UCLA will start with Collison, Westbrook in the backcourt, Ship, Love, and Mbamute on the front line. Davidson going with Sander on the post, who's defending Love. Chambeau, who will be on the left wing, covering Josh Ship. They've got Meno on the floor, and then, of course, the guards, Richards and Curry. Collison misses the jumper about 14 feet out. It will go out of bounds, and it still belongs to the Bruins with a new shot clock. So Ben Howland will change the play.
Really wide open shot by Collison. He's just a little bit rusty. He'll get it going again.
He's regarded one of the top point guards in the nation. Last year averaged almost 13 points per game as their point guard. And Josh Ship, that's his first field goal of the game, was 0 for 3 in the first half. And he leads the team this year in scoring almost 15 points per game, or second on the team, I should say, to Kevin Love.
And let's mention this too, Steve. I mean, Russell Westbrook has done an absolute fantastic job on Steph Curry. Steph's only hit 1 3 and has a total of 7 points so far in this game.
Just 6 shots. Here's his 7th. And it misses short. Love with the rebound. Whips it ahead to Darren Collison. Luke Rashad Mbamute worked the entire summer on his outside shot.
And unfortunately for Davidson, UCLA is picking up where they left off in that first half.
And they have their first lead of this game. They were down by as many as 18 points in the first half. Archambault with the 3 ball.
Three-point basket by William Archambault.
Big shot for that young man. I'll tell you why. You know, he was 4 for 24 coming into this game from 3, really struggling. So that really helps his ball club and him personally.
And that's his first field goal. Now Russell Westbrook back to the 3, and we've got a timeout.
Three-point basket by Russell Westbrook. Three-point basket.
UCLA has jumped in front. They were down at the break by 4. Now they lead by 1. Roaring back in this game with a great stretch to end the first half. A 16-2 run. Now up by 1 over Davidson. Davidson again earlier in this game led by 18 points. UCLA and a great run. And here to open the second half, they've had great touches and shots by Josh Ship and also Luke Richard Mbamute.
Yeah, they're spreading it around offensively more. And, you know, need to pack up the, the slack for Darren Collison, who usually is a scorer for him. And Westbrook just playing with great confidence in this his sophomore season.
Brad, it was interesting. Ben Howland, before the shot was taken and made by Westbrook, he told the official, I want a timeout if we make a basket.
Coach Howland will do that. He sees something defensively he doesn't like. He wants to correct it right now. Even though his club made a basket and has a little momentum, he wants to get that defense right.
Westbrook with the last 3-pointer, and now Jason Richards moves it into the forecourt against Darren Collison, trying to get the screen from Meno. Stephen Curry, he's really been tied up in the game by Westbrook, who's done an excellent defensive job. Meno, right-hand hook goes, and Davidson back in front by 1. I mean, UCLA lost a great defender in Aaron Aflalo, but Westbrook might be more athletic than Aaron Aflalo.
Well, I think Aflalo is probably an underrated athlete, but I agree. Westbrook is a better athlete. We're splitting hairs a little bit, but Westbrook is going to be just a fantastic player.
Just
he
long.
keeps improving. Yeah, long, sinewy. You know, got a great basketball body.
Collison tied up. There's the double. They swing it left to Ship. 5 in the shot clock. Mbamute has to drive, gives it to Love, and with 2 seconds left, Kevin Love with an easy deuce.
Yeah, Kevin right there. He didn't know he was going to get the ball right there, but he made sure he sealed this man on his backside in case he got it, and Mbamute delivered.
Barr on the runner. No. He's more of a catch-and-shoot guy. A whistle away from the basketball. It looked like a physical play down low with Love, which might be, it is the 3rd foul on Kevin Love, so he'll come out, and Lorenzo Monterreal comes back in the lineup for the Bruins.
Boy, and Kevin's really frustrated right now. He's like, what do I have to do? Guys are banging on me. I got 2 guys on me, being very physical. Get them off me. Let me just play a little bit.
Curry with the fade, that's pretty.
I mean, that was good defense. But you see that quick little move? He creates just a little bit of space for him, and with that quick release, and a soft touch.
Davidson back in front by 1. Josh Shipp outside, nails a 3, so he has back-to-back field goals made in the second half. That's 7 for Josh Shipp. Meno out high looking for a cut. Good defense, and Shipp got his hand in there with the help. Westbrook looking ahead to Collison. He lays it up and in.
That was a classic UCLA fast break 3-on-2. Very nice bounce pass. Finish.
Time out on the floor as the Bruins have opened up their biggest lead of the game, 45-41. One bounce, Collison up, foul, and 1. The UCLA Bruins, led by Ben Howland the last 2 years, back-to-back Final Fours. Aaron Aflalo, the Pac-10 Player of the Year, now graduated. They also had Jordan Farmar 2 years ago, slick point guard, and now plays for the Lakers. But he has brought greatness to this. And you talk about turnarounds. He did the same thing at Northern Arizona. Struggled first year, better second year, then a power. At Pitt, struggled first year, better second year, then a power. He's done the same thing in Westwood.
He's got a great roadmap, a great plan that he uses. You got the dynamic combination of recruiting and coaching with Ben Howland, and boy, has he done a job.
I first met him when he was the assistant coach for Jerry Pym at UC Santa Barbara. Here's Westbrook with another Steelers second. The drive and score. He's long.
Wow.
Great step.
I mean, he's all over the floor. I mean, this young man is just defending his rear end off, doing a great job on Curry and getting steals and leading the break.
A nice runner by Davidson, and Jason Richards knocks it down to cut that UCLA lead to 5. But Jerry Pym was the head coach at UC Santa Barbara, and his top assistant was Ben Howland. And I was doing a game there, and Jerry spent about 45 minutes with me. And I said, Coach, shouldn't you be coaching now? And he goes, see that guy, Ben Howland? He's going to be one of the great coaches in America. And he was awesome. And he was basically the defensive coordinator for UC Santa Barbara as Curry goes deep for 3. And that's their 8th three-pointer. The Wooden Classic record is 9, set by California in 2002. Here's Westbrook on the drive, and he muscles it up and in. His first step quickness is just sensational.
And that first step is lightning fast, and it's long, and he gets to the basket very quick.
A late signing, hard to believe. UCLA with some great guards coming to Westwood next year. Jrue Holiday, one of the top 2 guards in America, along with Jeremy Anderson from Canyon High School and Malcolm Lee from Riverside.
See, that's Davidson right there. That's Davidson. They don't go away. They keep coming at you. You know, you get a little lead, you fight back, you get a little lead. They come right back at you with a couple baskets.
That impressed you watching their videos and their losses, barely losing to Duke and North Carolina. Bob McKillop, terrific coach. 8 Southern Conference crowns, 4 times taking his team to the NCAA tournament, another 4 times to the NIT. And that is 3 fouls on Lovedale. So Love and Lovedale each in foul difficulty with 3. Foul will go against UCLA. Ben Howland disagrees, and I guess Collison threw a left arm at the defender. Maybe an illegal screen. Let's see.
Well, Monterreal comes and sets that flare screen, and Richards, you know, I mean, there was a bump there, and he got a little off balance, and that would drew the official to make that call. But not much of a foul there.
foul went against Lorenzo Monterreal, not Darren Collison. Darren was just the most upset of the two players after the whistle blew. The boy up in the face of Thomas Sander, trying to make that entry pass difficult. Lovedale puts it back. No, gets his own feet down. And Lorenzo goes down hard. He's a full effort guy.
He is. Good job by the officials right there, getting between the players, making sure nothing happens between them. Lovedale with a nice offensive rebound. Good pump fake. Tries to get it back, and Mata mixes it up in there and gets a jump ball.
Now Davidson will have it, but there's only 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Jason Richards with the inbound. Curry. He had 2 good looks, fighting through traffic. Now Westbrook down the middle of the floor, and he is called for carrying the basketball. I thought they might get a call by Thomas Sanders, who gave him a knee, and Westbrook went down.
Again, Russell Westbrook out on the break. And here's what the young man's got to learn. Right there, that lane's pretty clogged. Pull up on a dime, shoot your little jumper, about a 10-footer. If he can get that mid-range pull-up in his game, it's going to make him a better player.
Sounds like you're talking about Stephen Curry's dad, Del Curry. This is when he lived in the NBA, pulling up like that. Sander. Offensive foul, no basket.
Yeah, Monterreal, he smelled that out, okay? He saw Thomas Sander slip. He came over from the backside and said, you're going to have to go between me and the basket. Did a great job taking that charge.
And Ben Howland last year had a stat sheet where he had charges taken, and Mata was right at the top of the list, almost twice as many as the other Bruins. That's 3 fouls.
He and Abroya are very good at taking charges.
UCLA by 2. They trailed by as many as 18 points in the first half. Their biggest deficit was 32-14. That's 4 personal fouls on Lovedale, and he was playing very well. A physical presence. Junior from Nigeria now will leave the lineup, and back in comes Boris Mena. They both go about 6'8", 220. Kevin Love back in the game. Here's Michael Rowe coming off the screen, missing the shot. And Ben Howland wanted to give Rowe about 20 minutes today, but it's a little like Collison where his rhythm isn't there because he's a very good shooter.
It just takes you a while to get your rhythm, to get your legs under you, to get in top game condition and experience, and certainly Rowe and Collison will find themselves.
Ship in the second half. He had no field goals at halftime. He has 3 in the second half, 2 outside, and now 1 on a brilliant drive.
I really like what Josh Shipp has done in this game. He's mixed up his penetration along with his jumper, and he's ready. If you come to me, I'll drop it down to one of my teammates. But that time, he made the right move by sticking with his plan, going up strong to the basket, and drawing the foul.
And now 2 Wildcats in foul trouble as Sander picks up his 4th personal foul. Josh Shipp nails the 3-point play, and UCLA has tied their biggest lead of 5 points. That's 10 points now for Josh Shipp, who averages almost 15. Rossiter in. And did Shipp commit the personal foul? I believe he did.
Jason Richards, you look at him and you look at his body and you don't think he's that quick. He's deceptively quick. He can get a shoulder on you and get by you and create some problems for you.
Roll will come out. Aboya comes back in. Kevin Love will leave the lineup. Now UCLA really going small as Aboya is the biggest man on the floor, but Luke Richard Mbamute moves to the 4 spot, and he really likes playing the power play better than the wings position. Curry missing the 3.
Again, Steph Curry, I mean, he has UCLA players come, especially Russell Westbrook, coming hard at him. I mean, they are strongly contesting every shot he takes, making him work very, very hard for his looks.
And Westbrook has outplayed Curry in this ball game. Ship. Westbrook bounces it out to Luke Richard from Balmute. Then he loses the ball, and it's picked off by Davidson. Curry ahead. No end one there as Rossiter grabbed it but misses the layup and be at the free throw line for 2 shots. But Russell Westbrook leading this comeback by UCLA after trailing by 18. Westbrook's defense has been the story, and the Bruins now up 53-48 over the Davidson Wildcats. Davidson has the great sophomore in Stephen Curry, but how about the sophomore Russell Westbrook's play in leading UCLA's comeback, Brad?
Russell Westbrook, you know, coming in 53% from the arc, so he loves that shot, but he's also doing a fantastic job of getting to the rim. He's so very quick. We talked about his defense. He's got 2 or 3 steals in this game, lays it back right there very nicely, and then watch him get to the basket.
Westbrook 5 of 7 from the floor, 13 points. Second on the team to Luke Richard and Balmute. Meantime, Stephen Rossiter at the foul line. He is a 69% foul shooter, and this is a team that needs to knock those foul shots down, because you take away Stephen Curry, who has made 20 of 22 on the year, and they're about a 59% foul shooting team.
Right, coming in 64%, which is not good for a,
that's with Curry.
For an exceptional team like this. That's a weakness that they really need to make a strength as this season goes on.
Collison Westbrook backcourt. They throw it down low. Kevin Love, and he can't catch it as Rossiter, who's 6'7", is having to defend Kevin Love. He gives up 4 inches and 40 pounds to Kevin.
Right. UCLA did a great job. It was a very nice design play to clear the backside, throw it over the top to Kevin Love. Kevin just didn't execute it.
Richards. Menlo over Love. Misses the jumper. And I believe Davidson went over the back of a UCLA Bruin and commits the personal foul. UCLA just dominating the boards in this game. They have 27 rebounds to Davidson's 14.
Mr. Mahabute gets a lot of credit for that. Just watching him in this game up close, I admire how diligent he is in making contact and blocking his men out to make sure if he doesn't get the rebound, then he gets an over the back call.
Makes the first. UCLA likes to take it inside. That's why they have 17 more free throw attempts now than Davidson.
Right. I mean, the penetration, the pass penetration, the dribble penetration, and quite frankly, Davidson just doesn't do that much of it, doesn't draw very many fouls because they're playing more of a perimeter game.
And as you said, they've got to make the threes if they're going to beat UCLA. They made 6 of the first 10, and 6 that time. They have made just 2 of 8. And Stephen Curry has been limited. He has only made 2 of 6 because of the terrific defense by Westbrook. Ball. Boy, he came in just 4 for 24 for three-point range, but confidently drained that one, and Davidson within 3. Looking down low to Love. He's well defended by Rossiter. They get it to him. He's doubled. Balmute misses the dunk. Curry.
Well, Kevin Love made a heck of a play right there. Really, the only play he could make was a behind-the-back pass.
And now UCLA
needs to finish that.
Ship to you receive.
Coach Wooden.
Yep.
Great job by Mbamute stepping in there, getting yet another steal by UCLA. The big fella in the middle, running the break, gets it back, and slams it home.
Well, UCLA has had some great big men, some of the best in college basketball history, and talk about some of the guys that you have seen in the past.
Well, I mean, Lou Alcindor slash Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Walton clearly are at the top of that list. But, you know, I grew up as a kid watching Sidney Wicks be a two-time All-American. I played with David Greenwood, a two-time All-American. And an interesting story is Swen Nader, 6'11", played behind Bill Walton. Turned out to be a great NBA player, and Coach Wooden always called Swen the second best player in the country, the second best center in the country, I should say, behind Bill Walton. He just didn't get much run because Bill played a few minutes now.
He could have gone to USC. Well, there are two very good basketball programs down here in Southern California, in USC and UCLA. UCLA is the number 7 team in the nation, but Tim Floyd really has it going with USC and with a young team that has played well this year. Jason Richards on the attack. Goaltender. And Davidson just keeps the pressure on.
I tell you, Kevin Love went up for that.
Yeah, he did.
Huh? How? That's something else we got to talk about now. The big fella with his athletic ability.
Mbamute drops it in. Seems like Davidson withstands every single UCLA run, but the Bruins are so strong and athletic, have kept them at bay, and they're back with a 5-point lead. Sander is getting ready to check back in. 9 minutes to go, and he'll be coming in with 4 fouls. Ooh. They're traveling there. Look at Westbrook's defense.
Is he hawking him? What a ball hawk he is. I mean,
Outlet,
wow.
Collison.
There we go.
Collison to Josh Shipp. It started with Love.
I'm telling you what, Collison saw that at half court when he got it. Hey, I'm gonna draw the defender. If he comes to me, it's up over the top to Josh Shipp.
Ben Howland told me because of Kevin Love, they expect to get 3 or 4 more easy baskets per game. How quickly he got that out of his hands.
How many times are we going to say it today, Steve? Russell Westbrook and his defensive abilities does a great job again forcing a bad shot from Steph Curry. And look at that outlet right here, right at draw the defense. Josh Shipp. No, that is just a perfect pass, timing pass by Darren Collison.
Well, Kevin Love was born to play basketball. I mean, in kindergarten, he was 5 feet 2 inches tall, so he was dominating back then, and that's why he just exudes confidence on the floor.
Well, his father, Stan Love, was quite the good player at Oregon and played in the NBA for a few years, and Kevin just came up through it. And they tell an interesting story that at least his father does. You know, where most high school kids are, you know, hey, what am I going to do on Friday night? He wanted to watch films of Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell and people like this and say, I want to see what kind of moves they did, and then he'd go out in the driveway and try to copy those post moves and footwork.
And Kevin loves the history of the game, and he said he loves the story that his dad tells where his dad Stan dunked on Wilt Chamberlain, and then Stan said later, he goes, you know what, I didn't tell him. Wilt was so upset that the next 4 times down the floor he dunked on me.
Yeah, we want to leave that out.
Yeah, Curry has to throw up a wild prayer with 1 second left in the shot clock, and UCLA out to their biggest lead and with the basketball with 8 minutes to go. Roll back in. Sander defending Love. Remember, Thomas Sander playing with 4 fouls. They double Collison. Somebody's got to be open. Love will find him. A terrific ball game for Luc Richard and Mbamute. His offense kept them in the game in the first half, led that 16-2 spurt. And Mbamute, along with Josh Shipp, has UCLA up. UCLA with a 7-point lead over Davidson. Steve Physiok along with Brad Holland. Earlier, Brad gave his top UCLA centers, and certainly Kevin Love one of them, but the way the Bruins have been playing in this game, Love leading the break there. That looked a little like the guy you had at number 2, Bill Walton.
That's Love getting a little love.
You got that right.
Back so he could slam it. Yeah, UCLA doing a nice job in the second half, maintaining a little, 5, 6, 7-point lead, keeping the pressure on Davidson defensively.
And there's Big Red right there, watching his Bruins play and having a little Chardonnay.
What a player. I mean, what a fantastic player.
That game against Memphis might be the greatest college game of all time.
Never forget it. Shot 21 out of 22 from the field.
And what did he have? 3 that were taken away because you could not have your hands down. There was no dunking back then. And even though he caught it and dropped it in and did not dunk, I think they took 3 baskets away, and it could have been an even better performance. Jason Richards at the controls. Darren Collison, and here's Russell Westbrook, who's been the defensive star of the game. I mean, Stephen Curry came in averaging 26. He is 5 of 14 from the floor and just 12 points, not even half of his scoring average.
So impressed with Westbrook's defense. So impressed. Whether it's off ball, on ball. I mean, he is really almost by himself shut down Steph Curry.
And that is the 10th three-pointer in the game for Davidson, and that is a new Wooden Classic record. And Bob McKillop with a big smile on his face, clapping his hands.
Hey,
Cal had 9 in 2002.
Who cares how the shot looks? Bank, no bank. It goes in, you're happy.
Ship.
3-pointer by Josh Ship. 3-point basket. Timeout, UCLA.
Who penetrates again? Westbrook. And Josh Ship, boys, he had a nice game, huh? He's had an inside game, an outside game, knocking down the 3 right there, and an important answer to Davidson's 3 prior.
Yeah, Josh Ship was 0 for 3 at halftime. He has 5 field goals in the second half, and it was his early field goals that got them the lead here when they came into the second half down 34-30.
He's also making it happen and creating for his teammates on his drive. So he's a very unselfish player, and just having a real nice all-around game today, Josh Ship.
Ship now 15 points. Luke Richard and Mamute leads the team with 19. His career high, 24 against Brigham Young 2 years ago. There's Russell Westbrook. What a game he's had. Not only his 13 points, but 5 assists and 2 steals, and just a brilliant defensive job on one of the top scorers in the nation, Stephen Curry, who came in averaging 26 and has been held down to 12. Richards knocked down, gives it up to Sander. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Curry for 3.
That release is so quick. I mean, Westbrook is right there. He's right there. Impressive.
He's got 18 now. And Stephen Curry yelling out to his defensive mates, talk, talk. They want to communicate. They get it to Lorenzo Monterreal, and it's off his hands, out of bounds. Davidson still has a chance. They are down 5 to number 7 UCLA Bruins.
A little scramble there off the ball screen, pick and roll. Sander whips it over to Curry, and he takes no time to knock down the 3.
Meno in the corner. No. And Love loses it off his hands, out of bounds, but it may have last been touched by Lovedale, and that's what they're saying. McKillop doesn't like the call at all. I think I read his lips, and I think he said, "I don't appreciate the way you're helping them."
That's very kind of him.
Yeah. You know, the official just shrugged his shoulders.
That wasn't so
class.
kind, I have to admit.
The whistle, a violation near that lane.
UCLA ball out of bounds.
It'll be UCLA basketball with 21 seconds left in the shot clock. They have Ship with Collison, Love and Bamute and Russell Westbrook. Ship tried to catch it with his right hands, off his right hand and out of bounds. And Davidson with a three could make it a 2-point game.
UCLA wanted right there was into Ship, into Love, down in the low block. And Ship took his eye off the ball for that split second.
See where Love was?
Yes.
Jason Richards now offensively. Trying to free up Curry. So his last 2 3-pointers. Benno loses it. A scramble for it. Tied up by the Bruins, and it'll be a held ball situation. Davidson will still have it, but just 15 seconds left in the shot clock.
Held ball. Davidson ball out of bounds.
I know the possession arrow goes to Davidson, but Westbrook again gives up his body, dives on the floor, and he does have great toughness.
Does he ever? Now Lovedale will lead with the 4 fouls. Archambault comes back in, a good 3-shooter, and Ship will slide over and defend him.
Yeah, you can't sleep on Archambault now. He's hit a couple threes in this game, so he's a much more confident player right now.
He was second of the team last year with 58 3-pointers, a slow start this year. Shot clock down to 10. Curry on the drive with the pull-up and misses the shot, and there's Love with the rebound.
Good strategy by Davidson, though. Start the ball with Steph Curry and see what he can do with it rather than have him come off a screen.
Westbrook's looking for Love, can't find him, and then throws it away. That's the 5th turnover for Russell.
Good team defense by Davidson.
May have forced something that wasn't there. Richards throws it away. Collison gets it ahead to Russell Westbrook. Gives it back to Collison and has a chance for 3.
Number 1 priority for Ben Howland coming in this game was, I want an unselfish team out there today. And UCLA's been all of that. Really sharing the ball, doing a great job of looking out for each other.
Shooting 1.
When to give it up. He made Archambault commit himself and then gave it back to a teammate who was either going to make it or get fouled. In this case, he gets both.
And again, the big advantage of having 2 lead guards, and Collison and Westbrook, that can make plays like that.
You wonder if the injury to Collison was a real blessing to allow Westbrook to get comfortable at the point. Collison missed a month, and Westbrook almost gets the steal here. Curry gets it, misses, and Love got pinched along the ankle.
Trust me, Steph Curry saw Westbrook coming after him out of the corner of his eye and may have bothered him a little bit on that shot.
Yeah. Love down low. He's doubled by Sander. UCLA working the clock. Shot clock down to 12. Collison on the drive. Oh, pretty play.
There we go, Darren.
A 10-point Bruin lead at one time in this game. They were down 18. Curry missing the 3. Collison rebounding. He hit the end line. It's Davidson basketball. And a timeout on the floor. But the Bruins have come roaring back to take a 10-point lead.
UCLA leading Davidson 70-60. We're back in Anaheim at the John Wooden Classic. This entire crowd, guys, has just been cheering for a sustained 5 minutes because they put John Wooden's picture on the video board here. Wooden is like a rock star in Southern California, and I say that about a 97-year-old man. He is the one guy in Los Angeles or Orange County who all you got to do is put his picture on TV, Steve, and people rise to their feet. Well deserved. Back to you.
As Brad told us, he is a national treasure, not only as a coach, but as an incredible leader and gentleman. Well, Davidson with their 12th three-pointer, a Wooden Classic record, and they just will not go away. It's 70-63. Lovedale will come back in with 4 fouls. Davidson had 2 tough losses to top 25 teams. losing to Duke by 6 points, 79-73, and against #1 North Carolina, 72-68. And you might remember at the beginning of the game we said Davidson has not beaten a top 25 team since 1974. They've had great contests against the upper echelon, but the last top 25 team they beat was South Carolina, #15 team in the nation in 1973-74 season.
Well, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not probably going to happen today, although, hey, listen, UCLA's got a ways to go to seal this win, but Davidson has become such a good program, and you have to admire. They're not afraid to play the big boys.
Well, as you said, it's different being the hunted rather than the hunter. And they are the hunted now in the Southern Conference.
That's exactly right. I mean, UCLA, they knew coming into this game that this is a very, very good ball club in Davidson, and well coached and everything else. So that's why Ben Howland was very happy to have a week to prepare.
Kevin Love on the floor with Russell Westbrook, Darren Collison, Josh Shipp, and Luke Richard and Mbamute. Davidson will trap all over the place. Curry and Lovedale, and there's Love in the middle. Collison gets it back. Curry bumps him. UCLA really controls the clock well in the last 5 minutes of a game. They won 30 games last year and won the Pac-10 conference, going 15-3.
The clock is UCLA's friend right now. It's their buddy. They got to use it wisely.
Shipp missing the three. Sander with the rebound. Nearing the 2.5-minute mark here at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. And Meno lost it off his right hand out of bounds.
Well, one of the things you try to teach your bigs, and I know Bob McKillop does, is got to catch the ball with two hands. You can't be a one-handed catcher. It's too physical down there. You got to grasp it with two and secure it.
Westbrook. All you need is
UCLA basket by Kevin Love. Timeout call.
Here we go,
for
Russell.
UCLA.
He wants to penetrate again. Thought it was going to finish. Oh, that's close. Too close for the official, I guess. He felt it was off the rim enough.
And so the Bruins go back in front by 9 points as they try and push the record this year to 8-1 and send Davidson down to a 3-5 season. Your top freshman.
And you can add a couple more in there, like Derrick Rose from Memphis and maybe Patty Mills from St. Mary's. But Eric Gordon is just a fantastic player at Indiana. Kevin Love, of course, we've talked a lot about him. And Kyle Singler was MVP of the Maui Invitational for Duke. Michael Beasley is just a glass eater and can score. And O.J. Mayo, of course, at USC, putting up some great numbers.
UCLA led by Kevin Love, but Love, unlike O.J. Mayo, Love is surrounded by veterans. I mean, starters Westbrook, Mbamute, Shipp, Collison. Westbrook is in his second year. He did not start last year. Aaron Aflalo was that starter, but they have a lot of quality experience in the floor with Kevin.
Yes, they do. But I'll tell you, SC is gonna get better and better. They're going to be a nice team and vie for that Pac-10 championship. I like USC squad.
That's back-to-back possessions and turnovers. The other way USC won that Anaheim Classic. Great job by Tim Floyd's crew.
Davidson somehow has got to get a stop right here. Doesn't look like they're going to foul just yet to extend this game. UCLA, hey, they want to score right here. You want to score. You don't want to get too unaggressive. You want to use clock, but you want to score right here.
Down to 5, down to 4. Collison's got to shoot it. This does not go, but UCLA gets the rebound and a new 35.
Got to foul now, maybe. You got to look to foul, maybe, if you're Davidson.
Bruins a better foul shooting team a little bit this year over last year. Last year, 66%, and it cost them a couple of games, but 68% this season.
Coach McKillop was yelling over there for his team to foul, but a lot of seconds went off that clock, not only in the first possession, but the second possession after UCLA got the offensive rebound.
Bob McKillop, not afraid of taking on any opponent. And he had just a great quote yesterday. Coach McKillop was saying, you know, today was the first time I have ever met John Wooden, but I've known him for 40 years because I've watched him coach. I have read his books, and he just felt like, even though I've never met him, he was one of my mentors.
And you know, coach after coach in America can say that same story, you know, because, I mean, he's world renowned. You know, he's got a lot of great books out there. And who better to model yourself after a person and coach than John Wooden?
1 minute remaining.
Down low, Tom Sanders misses. Love gets mugged by Archambault.
Well, a little acting there by Kevin. He wanted to make sure he got the call right there. He kind of put his body
You think this was acting?
A little bit.
Tell me.
Watch. Now watch. He loses control of a little bit, and then they come on him.
Oh, they got him.
And no, they fouled him. No, I didn't say they didn't foul him, but he put a little, he put a little Academy Award in there to make sure he got it.
That's the coach coming out in you. There's no way he didn't touch him.
Let me tell you. Part of being a player sometimes is being a good actor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to get a call and so forth.
And here is Kevin Love at the free throw line trying to put this game in the deep freeze, and he has the Bruins now in front by 11 points. He misses the second foul shot. Kevin Love now with 12 points for the game. He came in averaging just over 17.
Got to defend the arc right here if you're UCLA. That's an open shot.
Sander misses. Westbrook rebounding. And Russell gets fouled by Stephen Curry.
Davidson fouls on 30, Stephen Curry. His third personal.
Well, I tell you, UCLA knows they were in a battle today. I mean, they might win this game by double digits, but they were in a battle. And they found themselves a little bit today. You know, they struggled against Texas, but they found themselves, Darren Collis and Michael Roll getting their sea legs under them now. You got Ma Butte, who had a terrific offensive game and rebounding as well. And then Josh Shipp, and of course, Russell Westbrook. You know, a little coming out party for him today. I mean, what a great looking sophomore guard he is.
And you talk about a team that was down at one point by 18 points when it was 32 to 14.
I mean, struggling.
And we're talking about a 30-point swing. They're up 12 now. Curry misses. Shipp rebounding. And
they'll ride this one out, Steve. It's a good win. This Davidson team is good.
UCLA will run the record to 8-1 last week. They were number 2 in the nation, fell to number 7 after losing to the Texas Longhorns on Sunday, but rallying from 18 points down in the first half to beat a very fine Davidson Wildcat team here at the Wooden Classic. St. Mary's won game 1, 69-64, and Ben Hallen goes to accept congratulations from Bob McKillop as the Bruins win here in Anaheim, 75-63 over Davidson. Game summary of game 2, Westbrook with 14 and 6 points, but it was his defense on Stephen Curry. He held him to 6 for 19 shooting from the floor. Loved a double-double. Mamute, 3 points shy of his career best. 12 three-pointers made by Davidson, which is a Wooden Classic record. And then you've got the free throw situations all favoring the Bruins. Let's go to John Ireland.
Thanks. I am with the winners of Game 2 of the John Wooden Classic, Ben Hallen and the UCLA Bruins. Trust me, nobody appreciates winning in front of Coach Wooden as much as this guy does. But, Coach, let me go to you first. What do you like the most about what Ben has done and the way these guys are playing?
Well, we play tough defense, and most championships are won on defense, but they're sharing the ball extremely well, and if they get behind, and we've been behind a number of games, but we come back, we don't give up, and That's a great sign. I like to see him come. I'd rather we wouldn't get behind in the first half that much, though, because I worry too much. But they come behind, and I know Coach is very proud of them all, and all the fans are too. I'm certainly proud of them.
Ben, how much of what we see in your team today is derivative of what started with Coach Wooden?
Well, the fact that UCLA is the greatest history and tradition in all of college basketball is attributed to Coach. But I want to say, John, that I first of all want to applaud our opponent today.
Great.
I thought that Davidson team was a very tough, hard-nosed opponent. And we were fortunate today. We were fortunate, really proud of our guys, the way they fought back, falling down by 14 or 16, whatever it is. And we know we've got a lot of things to improve on to get better. And obviously, we were fortunate. We appreciate all the fans coming out and supporting this event. And we look forward to playing in it every year.
Give me a quick thought as to what it means to you. Those of us who know you know that you take your role as caretaker of this program that he started very seriously. It means more to you to win something called the John Wooden Classic, doesn't it?
It really does, because Coach stands for doing things the right way. He built this program on recruiting great kids that are not only good players, but high character guys. And that's what we have in this program, and that's what we're building it with. So those attributes and the foundation set by Coach still stand today, and I think it's very important at UCLA.
Russell Westbrook, come on in here for a second. What was the difference between the way you guys played in the first half when you fell down by 18 and the way you played after that when you took over the game?
We just came out. We came out a little sluggish, but, we went in a half. We had to come out and play hard, and we just came back defensively.
How much do you guys know and talk about what Coach Wooden means to UCLA?
We talk about, like, every day Coach mentions them in practice, by using the glass, just coming out the UCLA tradition. So he mentions them a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, I know you like them talking about those fundamentals, right?
That's the game. It's just the little things that make big things happen, and you become sound fundamentally and play together as a team. You're going to be difficult to beat.
Congratulations to the UCLA Bruins, winners of Game 2 of the John Wooden Classic. We'll be back with more from Anaheim right after this.
Thank you very much, John. 75-63, UCLA beats Davidson. John Wooden, one of his quotes was, "The secret of winning, very simple. Nothing will work unless you do." They worked harder after they got down by 18 points, showed a different energy on the defensive end.
They did. They played great defense, and if you give, you receive. They played much more better as a team today and played unselfishly. And I couldn't have been more impressed with Russell Westbrook, with his floor game, with his defense. I mean, he had 14 points, 6 assists, did an absolute fantastic job on Steph Curry. And then UCLA absolutely annihilated Davidson on the boards by 19. And then they were much more aggressive getting to the basket because UCLA shot and made 21 free throws to Davidson's 1 made free throw.
Kevin Love, 12 points, 12 rebounds. John Wooden applauding as UCLA pushes the record to 8-1. For Brad Holland, I'm Steve Biziak saying so long from the Wooden Classic. St. Mary's, UCLA winners today.